Every season, about half the teams that made the playoffs the year previously missed the playoffs. This can be due to injuries, a decrease in the quality of play on the field, or just playing in a suddenly more competitive division. Despite this statistical fact, you will find fans of teams that made the playoffs last year insisting they're still a lock for the playoffs in 2024. The Titans, Raiders, Patriots, Steelers, Packers, Rams, and Cardinals all made the playoffs in 2021 and then completely missed the playoffs in 2022. In 2022, the Bengals, Jaguars, and Vikings all won their division, but completely missed the playoffs in 2023. The Chargers, Giants, and Seahawks are teams that also missed the playoffs in 2023 that made it the year prior. This begs the question, which 6 or 7 teams are going to completely miss the playoffs in 2024 after successful campaigns in 2023? To start things off, I find it hard to believe the Dolphins will be back in the playoffs in 2024. I still think the Bills are the best team in the AFC East, largely because of Josh Allen, and even though the Dolphins are loaded with offensive talent, there are just so many other teams in the AFC that will be clawing for that final wild card spot. I don't think they'll be bad, but I struggle to see them winning more than 9 games. The last 4 games of their schedule are brutal, with 3 away games, all of which I think will be losses. The Steelers also feel like they are locks to miss the playoffs in 2024. They play in a division that features Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and a Myles Garrett-led Browns defense. They have the worst quarterback situation in the division, and I would be shocked if they don't have the worst offense. Their life also isn't made any easier on the back half of their schedule when they have to play the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, and Bengals to close out the season. Every sportsbook has their win total at 8.5 wins, and I think this is the year the Steelers finally go below 500. The final team I have from the AFC not making the playoffs in 2024 is the Cleveland Browns. Much like the Steelers, they play in potentially the most difficult division in the NFL, and at best, Deshaun Watson is the 3rd best quarterback in the AFC North. The Browns defense is great, but Jerry Jeudy is not going to move the needle for the Browns at the receiver position, and who knows when he'll be back or how good the engine of their offense, Nick Chubb, will be after a brutal knee injury. I don't think their defense will be quite as dominant as it was last year, leading the Browns to be watching the playoffs from their couches. Heading over to the NFC, I have my first division winner who I think will miss the playoffs in 2024. The Dallas Cowboys have had one of the worst off seasons in recent memory in the sense that they lost players who played a key role in their team week in and week out, and they did very little to replace those players. Then there's the fact they will have the drama of Dak's, CD's, and Micah's contract situation hanging over their heads in the media for the entirety of the season. Their playoff hopes rest solely on the fact their division is weak, and it is entirely possible Dak goes crazy during the regular season, leading the Cowboys to 9 or 10 wins. The second NFC team I think will miss the playoffs is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Impressively, the Buccaneers are joined by only the Bills and Chiefs as the only 3 teams to win their division 3 years in a row, but that is largely because the NFC South has been incompetent while the Buccaneers have had average to well above average quarterback play. That is going to drastically change in 2024 with Kirk Cousins' arrival in Atlanta behind a very good offensive line, high quality receiving weapons, and one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL. I think the Falcons will win the NFC South, and I don't see a second team from the South grabbing a wildcard spot. My final team is one I think will be in the playoffs, but I am forcing myself to pick at least 6 teams, and I think there is a solid chance the Rams miss the playoffs in 2024 compared to the rest of the teams from 2023. The Rams have built a very talented offense, and Sean McVay, of course, is a top 5 coach in the NFL, but the loss of Aaron Donald has not been talked about enough, and it is hard to replace one of the best players in the NFL. Imagine how we talk about the Browns without Myles Garrett, the Steelers without TJ Watt, or the Cowboys if they lost Micah Parsons. We'd all knock at least 2 wins off their total. This, combined with the fact the Cardinals should be better with Kyler Murray healthy and Marvin Harrison Jr. to throw to, makes the division incredibly competitive. The Seahawks, of course, are also going to be good with all the talent they have on offense. Those are the teams I expect to miss the playoffs in 2024. I expect there'll be 1 or 2 teams to miss the playoffs because of some unexpected injury to one of their key players, like what happened to Joe Burrow last year that knocked the Bengals out of playoff contention, but I am not in the business of predicting freak injuries to ruin a team's season. Let me know who you think are the 6 or 7 most likely teams to miss the playoffs in 2024 that made it in 2023, and I will see you in the next video.